2015, 16 and 17 were the warmest years on record. The level of carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere continues to rise.
We are seeing increasing floods, droughts, extreme weather events, migration of people across borders, as well as sea level rise, and we're going to see increasing challenges globally.
Every week we're seeing new and undeniable climate events, evidence that accelerated climate change is here right now.
The direct and indirect consequences of climate change present some of the most profound challenges facing us today.
The impacts of climate change go well beyond the strictly environmental. Climate change is inextricably linked to some of the most pressing security challenges of our time.
Although environmental factors are rarely the sole cause of violent conflict, climate change can be seen as a threat multiplier, contributing to the onset of violence both within and between states.
It is no coincidence that the countries most vulnerable to climate change are often those most vulnerable to conflict and fragility.
As people become desperate because they have extreme weather and the seas are rising and there are floods in one area and droughts in another, fragile states become more unpredictable.
If climate change is left unchecked, the global population will face devastating consequences. In delta areas, sea level rise and decreasing water flows will make agricultural activities increasingly difficult. Once centers of food production, delta areas will struggle with shortages and increasing food prices, which could spark social unrest and cause chaos in affected countries. In southern European cities, summers will be longer and hotter than before. Worsening heat waves will expose thousands of vulnerable people to additional health risks. At temperatures above 50 degrees, urban infrastructure will shut down, leaving security services stranded and the economy severely affected. In conflict-prone areas, water shortages will exacerbate existing tensions. Tensions over water and food, as well as violent clashes between opposing groups, will become more prevalent. Social unrest and hunger may lead to large-scale migration out of affected areas. Neighboring countries might close their borders and chaos will erupt. If sea level rise continues at a higher pace than expected, the first small island developing states can soon no longer be saved. Evacuations and resettlement may be needed to avoid large-scale casualties from intensified hurricane seasons. As sea ice continues to melt, it will free up new sea routes around the Arctic and drastically change the ecosystems of the surrounding areas. Control over these new resources and sea lanes may spark international competition between great powers.
Climate change is moving much faster than we are.
The international community must be prepared to better predict, prevent, and if needed, confront climate change-induced tensions. We must enhance existing capabilities and build the necessary ones to manage threats before they arise.
Prevention is better than healing, because healing comes with a large price. So I think addressing climate change can help us preventing conflicts from happening.
We need to integrate our understanding of these risks into everything that we do, from diplomacy, development, and defense.
Because we failed to address climate change in the past, we must act immediately.
I'm really happy that with the Planetary Security Conference and through the Planetary Security Initiative, we can address such questions, and we can also underline the need for scaling up action in this field.
We are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change and the last generation that can do something about it.
All commitments, measures, and plans for action have to be practical, pragmatic, and doable.